Okay, so wow, you guys are kind of dressed up a little bit today. That's nice. Well, sorry about. First day of really getting OTAs going, and how this works is the first phase one, phase two section of the off season is really in preparation for this, and to get us ready when we finally get a chance to work against the other side of the ball a little bit. It's very controlled, and we don't do any 11 on 11 at all other than walk through stuff. So, but we've orchestrated it so that we'll get a lot of learning done, and hopefully we can see where we are. As the players fit together and as the schemes come together on both sides, and there's a lot of information we're gathering. So it's really fun to finally get out here, put the helmets on, and kind of play fake football.
I know it's been a short time since he's been here, but the steps that Drew's taken from when he's gotten here to now, how have been?
He's right with us. Gino really has the package nailed, and so I have that to gauge him on, and so he's hanging with G throughout all of this, and we're not holding anything back. We really have just unloaded the installation at this time. He's doing well.
What about for the rookies? They've had their playbook for a couple of weeks. They had minicamp. How much of this is just to kind of see where they measure up against some of the vets?
Yeah, really, that's the first thing we have to do is to figure out where they are. However, they've been with us enough, and they just had a section out here, about 15 plays or something, and they can run a ton of the offense already. So and the defense. So the guys have come along. It is really a statement about the teaching. We've done a nice job. Coaches have really been on it to get these guys prepared, and then the learning. They're working hard at it. So I got no complaints at all. We're moving. We can see a lot of stuff. We'll be able to see guys in situations, and we will be doing a lot of D&D situations just to get the looks that we need. And so everything's moving along fine.
You mentioned not being able to play 11 on 11 during these practices. What specifically are you looking for in terms of trying to evaluate quarterbacks when you don't have those type of drills?
Yeah, well, we do that in controlled periods, before we even come on the field, to get still this. It's really a situational football. This isn't the real thing. We try to get as close as we can. Using your imagination is a really big tool for us here, and so that's for the players and the coaches. And you have to picture, what it is we're asking and what the situation calls for, and then adapt and make your decisions and show us what you know. And then we know there's a whole nother level coming to camp. And this really what we do now in phase 3 is preparation for camp. And so it's all staged, and so we're making the progress that you can make, but you can't tell till we really start playing.
Are you doing more accelerated installation than in previous years because of the new quarterbacks and the new system and the new offensive coordinator?
Well, I would say that it's consciously we're making sure that we're covering everything, to not assume that we, for instance, 2-minute situations and stuff like that. We're not leaving those aside. We want to make sure that we cover all bases as early as we can, so we have a backlog of stuff to build from. So we have been conscious in the installation format to get that done. So, but
bringing in Marquise Goodwin, what can he? Where can he fit into things?
well, we have some background with him in that Sanjay has coached him before, and they have a relationship that gave us real insights. He's extraordinarily fast. He's a gifted athlete. Gosh, he came right out here day one, and he still shows that he can fly. He's a real disciplined route runner, and he's also a guy who's played all the spots. So I'm thinking that he will add something, what he brings athletically, but also his background and his makeup and his versatility. I'm hoping that it'll just rub off on other guys as he goes through it. I'm not asking him to be the mentor to anybody, but Sanjay will use him accordingly to demonstrate stuff and do things that that he's coached over the years, and that that Keys can do. So I'm excited. Anytime somebody brings something unique, which this guy is historically really, really fast, and we played against him, and we have respect for him from all of that. So we really thought seriously about drafting him way back when, and so happy to get it done.
What he and his wife went through in 2018 and 19, and he's still trudging on and now still in the league. What does that tell you? What do you know about that?
Well, yeah. What what you know is he's a really well balanced guy, and just as he comes across, I've not known him personally before this time, but always kind of watched him and paid attention to him. Always intrigued by the athlete and the speed and the playmaking and all that kind of stuff. Well, what I'm saying is he's got a makeup that I think he can handle a lot. I think he's got an awareness to him. That's my first impression, that he could deal with issues that other people might otherwise struggle with.
Pete, the first time that none of the guys from the Super Bowl teams are here, curious, like, is there any kind of why? Just the new look that you guys have?
I would not even have thought of that specifically. However, there is a vibe about this group. Every year the team takes on kind of a new makeup. Can I help you with that, Bob? And it comes from the personalities of the players and the leadership. Leadership has shifted a little bit, and that's obvious. And so it feels like just as it is. It's a new season. It's a new team, and here we go. It's fun to watch. It's watch take shape and see the guys step into the roles, and there'll be much more of that, once we get to camp and get rolling.
You told us that when Cam was moving into his second year, Cam Chancellor, back in the day, you had a conversation with him about needing to step up and be more of a leader and step into things. Have you had to do that with guys this time around? Has there been guys you've sought out to be like, I need you to step into this role?
Remember that story was the first year when I was talking to him about it, and was hoping I could get him to give us even more than he was already given up, and then it was year 2 when he really kind of took over and started to take over. That's an example of what the nurturing process is, and it is talking to people and seeing guys, knowing guys that others look up to. There's who-sayers, guys that people just listen to more carefully. And we know that, and we see that as we go along. We're learning our players and seeing how they're taking hold now. But it's just helping the opportunities for those guys to speak up and step out, and when they do, critiquing a little bit and helping them along the way. And so. That's a process that's ongoing, and it has a natural, kind of order to it that will take shape in time, and so it's fun to watch because there's guys really excited about stepping to the new opportunity.
Kev well into that?
Yes. Yep. That's specifically a guy that I have talked to about all of that.
Is Jordan Brooks going to take over Bobby's role, calling the plays on defense?
Yes. Yes.
Does that change his on-field role in any way that he does?
He's feeling it. There's an example of a guy that is feeling the opportunity. That he knows he's in front. He knows he's got to call the shots and he's got to make the adjustments. He and Cody in particular, both those guys are engaged with this level of communication that positions them to leadership. And so it's fun to watch, and I can tell they're really accepting that that challenge. And so it's not something we're not talking about. We're on it. And it's there's something really concrete about this transition right here that's important for those guys and important for us.
Some of those guys coming off injury, DK, Quandre, Jamal, Trey Brown, do you expect any of those guys out here for any OTA stuff?
No, those guys won't make it, and they'll be here on the for the most part. Give each guy a chance to do what he's doing here, but they're on their own program to get right, and so by the mini camp that we have, those guys will be here, and we'll take the next step with those guys. But right now they're not able to do the stuff that we're doing out here. Chris is around. I'll know more later in the week. I don't have any updates for you.
Pete, it looked like Tariq Woolen was able to do a little bit for you today. He wasn't able to in the rookie minicamp. What have you been able to see from him since he's been able to get going?
Yeah, Wednesday's his day to come back out and go. So he ran really well today and looked really good conditioning-wise and all of that. Just wanted to just buy him a couple more. I'm really intrigued by this opportunity for him. He's a rare athlete in size, weight, speed, and all that. History, background. I like the receiver background for a number of reasons, but I can't tell much yet other than he fits the bill and he looks very comfortable in the things we're doing. He has been through walkthroughs. He has been breaking the huddle and doing that kind of stuff. So he is showing us that he has an awareness of what we're doing. But until we really get him out there and we get the one-on-ones in camp and all that kind of stuff, we won't really know where we are.
We didn't see Kobe Bryant out there?
Yeah, he had a family issue that he had to take care of. He was here this morning and he had to get on a flight. He'll be back, I think, Wednesday.
A little off topic, but next month marks the 50th anniversary history of Title IX legislation. What has Title IX meant to sports, in your opinion?
Huh. That's a big question. Particularly that we just saw the women's soccer, you know. I mean, how long does it have to take, really? How long does it have to take to recognize that there's an inequality and stuff? You know, I don't know. But that, Title IX hit years ago. I don't mind saying that my wife was the first scholarship athlete at UOP because of Title IX, you know, and that's how we knew about it way back then, you know, and that's back in the 70s. And it's amazing that there was an awareness to know then that there were some real issues. There was awareness all the way back. But at least Title IX, you know, kicked it into gear. But to think that we're still battling, nah, you know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me at all. But it's a good thing. And you know, we got to get better. So you got to recognize your issues, and then you work at it, and you come up with solutions. Title IX was a solution at the time. It wasn't always treated properly. You know, it was misused and stuff in a lot of different places in sports and all that, and spreading the wealth around. It wasn't done well. But it's a step in the right direction. And you know, anybody fighting against that, you know, right now, I don't get it, man. You know, it's equal is what it should be. And I'm thrilled for the soccer illustration. It's sick that it's taken this long, but that's got to spread everywhere. It's got to be, you know, men and women deserve all the same opportunities.
A couple more attendance things. Still a fan?
He had a thing he had to take care of. Yeah, he's out of here.
Just today.
I think he's a couple days. I think he Wednesday or something like that. I don't know specifically on that one.
We saw Rashad here, but not doing anything. Rashad Penny.
Yeah, he's just got a little hamstring thing that's still tight, and we're just making sure that he's okay. He's working out, and he conditioned really well today. He's running and flying around and all, but not ready to get, you know, where he can't control the tempo.
Is LJ Collier's role changing at all? Kind of what you're doing?
He's just you know, flexing his muscles with the defense. You know, we're looking for him to, you know, there's a lot of stuff he can do in the scheme. Really want to see his pass rush come to life, and particularly in the nickel group.
See him benefiting from more of those 3-4 looks with his skill set, or
not necessarily. It's not that much different for him. It's not. Just his growth and his maturity and all of that should help him take the next step to be a real viable part. That's what we're hoping for.
Is he mostly just like a 3 technique now?
It's a 3-4 technique, 3 and 4 technique kind of what he plays. In the base stuff, 3 technique in all the nickel stuff.
Personally, how special was it to get your honorary doctorate at Pacific?
Thanks for asking. It was really a slice of you know, the history for Glenn and I to go back and see the campus and to be part of it. We haven't been around a whole lot. You know, I stopped in for a couple things over the years. The place looks great. The leadership is amazing. President Callaway, his wife, the way that they've turned the direction of the university, it was to be part of that and to see that kind of our eyes opened up to how things are going, and then to take part in a celebration that, you know, graduation for a lot of people, and then, you know, we were the only people that were honored on that deal. So it was very special, and really proud to be part of it.
People call you Dr. Carroll now.
The doctor's in the house.
Well, actually 2, Al Woods and Gabe Jackson.
They'll be here for minicamp.